Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show. And on this Cricket Happening Show, going to be talking about the Indian Premier League match where it was an unexpected win today for the Delhi Daredevils. And this was the highest margin of victory in IPLs. I mean, they did it in March 2010, but that was only 67 runs. So this is the highest margin of victory in an IPL, and what a way to do it. Rising Pune supergiants were left rudderless today. They definitely missed Steve Smith, the captain, no doubt about it. But one has to credit Delhi Daredevils for really putting a real some daredevilry there in the form of Sanju Samson, who became who was the first century scorer in the Indian Premier League 2017, and also Sanju Samson also was scoring his maiden T20 century. He has never scored a T20 century even in domestic tournaments, and here comes Sanju Samson getting an opportunity to score a century, a maiden T20 century, which he made 102 of just 63 balls, 8 fours and 5 sixes, and a hard hit Morris, who actually smote the ball for 38 unbeaten runs of just 9 balls with 4 fours and 3 sixes, and the Delhi Daredevils going and sitting on a total of 205. And the Pune supergiants, it was really looking at this very good batting lineup that Rising Pune supergiants had. It came as a real surprise. Yes, it was Steve Smith was missing, no doubt about it, but still they had lots of firepower, and one was wondering as to why Rising Pune supergiants could not really weather the Delhi Daredevils bowlers, and they were all out for 108. And Delhi Daredevils, as I said, registered their highest margin of victory in IPL, and that was really good to see. So that is as far as the IPL is concerned. The other match is between Pakistan versus West Indies. Today was the deciding match which was going to decide the series. Yes, the series was decided when Shoaib Malik actually hit a six to actually reach his 9th ODI century, and that was it. West Indies had lost the ODI series. Pakistan, the proud winners of the ODI series, by 6 wickets. I'll be coming to that as well. So, but first, let's get on to the IPL and let's see what really happened. So, Delhi Daredevils, Rising Pune supergiants were the ones who actually won the toss, and it was the Delhi Daredevils, Rising Pune supergiants actually won the toss, and they elected to field. And as I said, Stephen Smith was missing, and there was a debutant for the Rising Pune supergiants today by I think it was Tripathi, and I have to say that Rising Pune supergiants, after putting Delhi Daredevils to bat here at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium here in Pune, really got, I would say, success pretty quickly. As Deepak Chahar, we could see that the ball was really moving about when the Rising Pune supergiants bowlers were bowling, and it was an encouraging sign. And Chahar actually got Tare edging on to Dhoni behind the stumps for naught. So that was the first wicket. After that, walked in this young bloke Sanju Samson, and Sanju Samson and Sam Billings were in the middle. Sam Billings was stroking the ball well, and Sanju Samson took over nicely. I mean, he did not waste any time, and he immediately started playing his strokes with gay abandon, and one knew that Sanju Samson was looking in good nick, and the strokes were just flowing as Sam Billings and Samson went about their task very well to actually make some quick runs, one could say, because they took the score to 71 in 8.1 overs, and that was the time Imran Tahir was the one who had a handle on the Delhi Daredevils batsman, as he bowled very well, I thought, Imran Tahir, and Imran Tahir picked up the second wicket, in the sense the second wicket of the Delhi Daredevils innings, when Sam Billings was clean bowled for 24. After that, Rishabh Pant came in, and then we saw a phase where Sanju Samson he saw that Pant was the one who was really scoring nicely, so he allowed Rishabh Pant to really do the scoring as he started started playing in the shadow of Rishabh Pant. But Rishabh Pant was then run out for 31 of 22 balls, 1 4 and 2 sixes. And after that, once Sanju Samson was then joined by Morris, and this was the time he had a real crack at the Rising Pune supergiants bowlers. As suddenly, it was the situation was looking pretty good, I would say, even though Pant was out. The score was 124 for 3. But after that, it was some really good hitting from the bat of Sanju Samson. He pulled well, and he was also clearing the strokes. He was clearing the boundary as well, and it was very good to see. He hit Adam Zampa for a beautiful 6, and things were going on very well. And before one could realize, Sanju Samson had run to his century, which was good to see. He had already reached his century, and after reaching 102, what a knock that was! 102 of 63 deliveries, 8 fours and 5 sixes. Zampa clean bowled him for 102. And that was the time when Samson departed. Look at the score. It was there were only 10 legal balls left, and look at the damage that Chris Morris did. Chris Morris really manhandled the Rising Pune supergiants bowlers by smacking them for 4s and 6s at absolute will, as he carted 38 unbeaten runs of just 9 deliveries. He took full toll of the balanced 10 deliveries that was there, with Anderson picking up 2 runs, and after that was an absolutely Morris show, as in the death overs he totally dismantled the Rising Pune supergiants bowler. Dinda was taken for plenty. We saw Zampa go for plenty. In fact, also Ben Stokes go for plenty. And finally, thanks to Morris' onslaught, with an unbeaten 38 of 9 deliveries, with 4 fours and 3 sixes, the Delhi Daredevils score stood at 205 for 4 of their 20 overs. The bowling, Dinda 3 overs for 36. Deepak Chahar 3 overs was carted for 35 runs with 1 wicket. Ben Stokes bowled 4 overs for 41. Imran Tahir 4 overs, 1 for 24 was the pick of the bowlers. Zampa 4 overs, 1 for 45. Bhatia bowled 2 overs for 21. So the 200 was, as I said, was all set up by the Sanju Samson century, and then that late onslaught from Chris Morris, pivoting them to the 200 mark. So it was definitely some psychological pressure on the Rising Pune supergiants, and Rising Pune supergiants definitely did not get a good start, which was direly needed, as Zahir Khan sent both the openers packing into the pavilion by first getting Rahane caught Samson for 10 of 9 balls, and Mayank Agarwal was gone for 20 of 18 balls with 2 fours, and both the wickets taken by Zahir Khan. After that, Du Plessis, trying to play a ramp shot to the bowling of Nadeem, fell for 8 of 7 balls with 1 4. Tripathi was making his debut, but he hit 2 good fours in his very sweet knock of 10 of 5 balls, but he was a victim of the bowling of Morris. And then it was Ben Stokes who was there, so there was definitely hope. They had the big names like Ben Stokes and Dhoni at the crease, but that was the time, because of the wickets being falling and they were reduced to 52 for 4, it enabled the spinners to really seek a lot of control. It was done by Nadeem and Amit Mishra, who sought a lot of control over the Delhi Daredevils over the Rising Pune supergiants batsmen, as Ben Stokes was nipped up by the bowling of Cummins. Cummins picked this wicket, caught behind for 2, and then Dhoni, who is having a very bad IPL, one could say, was a victim, as Mishra got the prize wicket of Dhoni, caught Nair, and also Rajat Bhatia was sent back to the pavilion by Mishra for 16 of 17 balls with 1 6, and then Deepak Chahar was out to the bowling of Khan, and suddenly, once Dhoni and Stokes were gone, one knew that it was definitely it was a writing on the wall that Rising Pune supergiants are going to lose this match, and that's what precisely happened. Adam Zampa was out for 7 balls with 1 4, and Dinda was out for 7 of as many balls with 1 4. Imran Tahir was not out on not, and this Rising Pune supergiants was no match today for the Delhi Daredevils, as Delhi Daredevils registered the highest ever victory in IPL, in the sense as far as Delhi Daredevils is concerned, and the Rising Pune supergiants were rolled out for 108. Thus, the Delhi Daredevils picking up a 97 runs victory and their first win of the IPL, one could say. As far as the bowling is concerned, Shahbaz Nadeem was very good. 4 overs, 1 for 23. Look at Amit Mishra, 3 overs, 3 for 11. Picked up 2 crucial wickets. He picked up the wicket of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. He also picked up Rajat Bhatia 2. Anderson 1 over for 10. Morris 2 overs, 1 for 19. Zahir Khan 3 for 20. Also did a fine job at the start of the innings. And then Cummins 3.1 overs, no more than 2 for 24. Picked up a very important wicket, that of Ben Stokes. And Sanju Samson, for his maiden T20 century, was named man of the match. And Sanju Samson, we all know that he's a real precocious talent, and I'm sure it's time to nurture Sanju Samson, because he's a wonderful player to watch, no doubt about it. So that is as far as the IPL is concerned. The next match that I'm going to look at is between Pakistan and West Indies. Pakistan and West Indies, we are talking about the final ODI that was played at the Providence Stadium in Guyana today, and it was West Indies who actually batted first. West Indies batting first, they definitely showed some restraint, unlike the previous one-dayer where they really went for runs. They really showed some restraint, but it was some good bowling today. Mohammad Amir, Junaid Khan and Hassan Ali were bowling. In fact, Junaid Khan was a bit costly, but definitely Hassan Ali was doing his job. And then Junaid Khan picked up the wicket of Evan Lewis pretty quickly, as he provided the breakthrough. When the score had reached 31, Junaid Khan picked up the wicket of Evan Lewis for 16 of 22 balls with 1-4. Walton and Powell were in the middle, and then Hassan Ali cleaned up Walton by clean bowling him for 19 of 27 balls with 3-4s. And then there was a sort of a real throttling being done when the spinners Imad Wasim was introduced. That really made the run rate really plummet, and in the process Imad Wasim, who was absolutely the pick of the bowlers today with a splendid bowling spell, which really throttled the West Indies innings with a spell of 10 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 24. A superb spell. He could not get much support from Shadab Khan today, who went for runs because he could not get his line right there. And it happened, and Kieran Powell was a victim, as Kieran Powell definitely trying to get some runs, because trying to up the run rate, fell in the process, trying to have a go at Imad Wasim, and Sarfraz Ahmed effected a smart stumping. He was gone for 23 of 34 balls with 2-4s, thus putting the West Indies in some trouble at 68 for 3 in the 19th over. So that was good job, good work done by Pakistan. But after that, Shai Hope and Jason Mohammed were in the middle, and both combined into a very good partnership. They first slowly saw off the spinners Shadab Khan, and they took a heavy toll of Shadab Khan's bowling today, but Imad Wasim was respected, and even Mohammad Hafiz to that extent. And after that, suddenly we saw that Shai Hope and Jason Mohammed were really chiseling a partnership. They did it in a nice manner, as they definitely did a good job, and that was precisely a very mature approach from them. They knew that their wickets were very important, and they had to build an innings, and that's what they precisely did. They took their time. Nevertheless, it really paid dividends, I would say. It was a 101 run partnership that Shai Hope and Jason Mohammed indulged into, which took the score, with Jason Mohammed hitting some nice sixes on the bowling of Hassan Ali. In fact, he carted Hassan Ali for 2 sixes in 2 consecutive overs. Even Shai Hope was looking good as well, but it was more of Jason Mohammed who was actually doing the scoring. Shai Hope was basically a sort of an anchor man there, was holding the innings, which is good to see, and definitely it held hopes for the West Indies, as this partnership added 101 runs. And finally, and this was the time, things were done very well, and the repair job has been done very well. It was the matter of just launching, but that was the time it was very difficult, because what happened was the pace bowlers came back into their death overs, and I thought Pakistan bowled their death overs superbly, giving away just 29 runs, especially Mohammad Amir, Junaid Khan, Hassan Ali. Everyone contributed, and Junaid Khan was the one who picked up the important wicket of Jason Mohammed for 59, caught behind 59 of 64 balls, 5 fours and 2 sixes. A very impressive knock from Jason Mohammed. Shai Hope making 71 of 112 balls, 1 4 and 2 6 before Shadab Khan took his wicket. A good catch taken by Shoaib Malik. Jonathan Carter was bowled by Shadab Khan for 11 of 8 balls with 1-6. And then, as I said, the bowling was pretty sharp and tight with Mohammad Amir and Junaid Khan and Hassan Ali. And that left with Jason Holder out for 12 of 15 balls with 1-4. Permal was out for 8 to the bowling of Mohammad Amir. Bishu ran out and Ashley Nurse was not out on 10 as the West Indies innings. Definitely it was a sort of an innings of fits and starts. Initially they struggled, then they recovered, and then finally they couldn't really capitalize as the Pakistan bowlers really came into their own in the final stages. Mohammad Amir 9 overs 2 for 41. Junaid Khan 10 overs no maiden 260. Was very costly. Hassan Ali did a wonderful job, 6 overs 1 for 29. Hafiz did a decent job, 7 overs for 21. Imad Wazim bowled superbly, 10 overs 1 maiden 1 for 24. He did the throttling job very well there. Shadab Khan for a change today was very costly, 8 overs taken for 57 with 2 to show besides his name. And Pakistan were given a target of 234 to actually win the match. The start was not good at all. In fact, Shannon Gabriel was a doubtful starter played today, and he was the one who nipped up the wicket of Kamran Akmal, getting him caught by Kieran Paul for naught. And Ahmed Shahzad was a victim of the bowling of Jason Holder for 3 and caught Hope bowled hold of 3, which left Pakistan in their chase at 16 for 2. And then to complicate matters, Gabriel actually cleaned up the stumps of Babar Azam for 16 of 22 balls, 3 fours, and that was definitely a big wicket because, as you know, Babar Azam has been good against the West Indies. And 36 for 3, they were definitely staring down the barrel at that time with 2 new batsmen at the crease, Mohammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik. But what really mattered was the experience of these two guys, Shoaib Malik and Mohammad Hafiz. They used all their experience and they slowly started chiseling together a partnership, and they were not really worried about the run rate. And as you know, it was not a very big score as well, so they definitely could take their time, and they used all their experience to start nurturing the Pakistan innings, and that's what they precisely did as things were going on. Both Mohammad Hafiz and Shoaib Malik did a fine job to actually put on a partnership of 113 runs for the 4th wicket, which was good to see. And while finally everything was going on, things were going on very well, and that was the time it was Nurse who actually struck by getting the wicket of Mohammad Hafiz. Caught Permal bowled Nurse for 81 of 86 deliveries, 8 fours and 2 sixes. Shoaib Malik was going really strong at that time, and he was joined in by the Pakistan captain Sarfaraz Ahmed. After that, Shoaib Malik made sure by playing some very good strokes. Sarfaraz Ahmed was basically a quiet partner, and he was just, I would say, biding his time, and he was giving all the try to Shoaib Malik, who was definitely seeing the ball like a real football. And finally, we saw Shoaib Malik unwind beautifully as he started playing strokes in a wonderful manner. And finally, he saw to it that Pakistan would be doing this without any further mishap, as he smote a 6 of the bowling of Jason Holder in the 44th over to bring them the victory. Just another good partnership. From 149, it was an 87-run unbroken partnership which brought them victory, with Shoaib Malik unbeaten on 101, his 9th ODI century of 111 balls, 10 fours and 2 sixes. Sarfaraz Ahmed was not out in 24 of 26 balls with 1 4, and match over, and the series going to Pakistan. Pakistan winning the one-day series 2-1, with Shoaib Malik not only named the player of the match, also taking the man of the series. And what a way to bring his century. He got Pakistan a victory in the series by hitting a 6, and that too also brought up his 9th ODI century. As far as the bowling was concerned, Shannon Gabriel was very costly. He was taken away for 60 runs with 10 overs, 2 wickets. Holder, 8.1 overs, 1 minute, 1 for 37, bowled with lots of control. Bushu, 10 overs, 1 none for 42, also did a good job. Permal, 4 overs, was costly for 31. Nurse completed his quota of 10 overs for 49 runs with 1 wicket. And Jason Mohammed wheeled his arm over for just 1 over, where he gave away 10 runs. So 3-match series taken by Pakistan 2-1. So Pakistan, congratulations, they won this well-contested series against the West Indies. But I don't have much time to really dwell on. I think it's about time for me to say goodbye or good night on this cricket show. But promising you there's more to come tomorrow on my next Cricket Happening show. Till such time, it's good night.